Hi, my name is Dov Lesel. This talk is about investing in the time of the coronavirus pandemic. It used to be said that the only things certain in life are death and taxes. I would add to that, the only other certain thing is change, and we are definitely going through a time of change. The pandemic has brought new concepts into our lives, such as quarantining at home and social distancing. But it has brought more than just that. It has brought world economies to a virtual standstill. Millions have lost jobs. Retail stores, restaurants, and other businesses have been closed for months. Many of them will not survive to reopen. It has also changed the nature of our work and our shopping. Those that have jobs often work at home. The question is, how will these changes affect the future of our economy and our investing? Initially, it was felt that this would be a short-lived pandemic, and that as soon as we conquered it, people will flock back to movie theaters, retail shopping, events, restaurants, and work. Now it appears that may not be the case. It may take years to get back to the way the economy was in 2019. So, what effect will this have on your investing? What can we learn from this pandemic? The first thing we can learn is that black swan events do happen. A black swan event is an event that is often cataclysmic and unknowable in advance. The 2008 Great Recession was something like this. So is the coronavirus pandemic. What this does is it points out risks in the stock market as well as in the economy that should always be taken into account. One of the things I would point out is that the stock market dropped by about 40% in the end of March, from a peak of almost 30,000 to a low of 18,000. Many people sold stocks and bonds in a panic to raise cash. Within a few weeks, in the months of April and May, the stock market rebounded from 18,000 to about 26,000. For those who had sold their stocks, they had taken a deep loss. What this should point out is what I have been talking about and what many analysts and advisors have talked about over the years. One of the things that is starkly noted is that while the broad stock market, whether measured by the Dow or the S&P 500, has recovered most of its losses, this has not been uniformly so across the spectrum of the economy. There are many individual stocks that may never come back. Companies such as Macy's, Hertz, Brooks Brothers, J.C. Penney, these companies may be down for the count. The same can be true of sector funds. If you have a sector fund which invests in travel and leisure or in the banking and financial industry, you are still in a world of hurt. If, on the other hand, you have sectors of technology stocks, you are doing very well. The problem is, in advance, you never know what sector will be hurt. Who could have imagined, even in January or February of this year, that we would have such a shutdown of world economies? So, the question is, where do we go from here? Number one, it is always a good idea to keep a certain amount of money in cash. This is both for emergencies and upcoming expenses. A job loss cannot always be anticipated. If you have cash on hand, enough for 3, 6, or more months of living, you will also not be in a situation where you feel you must immediately sell stocks or bonds in order to raise cash. That would be a poor decision, and many people have sold their stock portfolios and taken a loss only to see the broad market recover. Keep in mind that although right now technology is doing very well, another major principle is price matters. That means that although tech stocks are doing well, you may be getting into them at a time when their price is much higher than it should be, because people are so enamored with the work-at-home condition that they have bid up certain prices to enormous levels. If you have a diversified S&P fund, index fund with low fees, 26% of the S&P is in technology. That sector has bounced back to more than 90% of where it was at the time of the crash. In addition, even if you are overpaying for tech, the other 3/4 of your portfolio or your S&P 500 index fund will be on other sectors which are now depressed, but as the economy recovers, will do well. Finally, stick to the idea that you invest a certain amount automatically every month or every 2 weeks. When the market goes up, you will be buying less stock. But when it goes down, you will be buying stock at a discount. Over the years, this is the best formula for success that I have come across. The idea of investing is investing for the long term in a automatic purchase plan with a long time horizon in a broadly diversified S&P 500 type mutual fund or ETF. You should do fine. Thank you.